It was winter break, and 16-year-old Mark found himself home alone. His parents had left for a vacation, entrusting him with the responsibility of looking after the house. He relished the idea of a week of independence. But as the days went by, the house began to feel eerily silent. On the second night, Mark was in his room, engrossed in a book, when a strange sensation washed over him. It was as if someone was watching him. He dismissed it as a product of his imagination, but the feeling persisted. He glanced around his room, and his eyes settled on an old, ornate mirror. It was a family heirloom, a gift from his grandparents, and it had always fascinated him. He had often noticed his reflection behaving oddly in that mirror, but he had never given it much thought. Tonight, however, the mirror seemed different. His reflection stared back at him, but there was a subtle, unsettling difference. It wasn't mimicking his movements. It was moving independently, as if it had a mind of its own. Mark shivered, convinced that his mind was playing tricks on him. As he continued to watch, the reflection began to show a sinister smile. Mark's heart raced, and he realized that the mirror was not merely reflecting his image. It was displaying a malevolent presence of its own. He looked away from the mirror, trying to shake off the eerie feeling. But when he glanced back, his reflection was still grinning malevolently. Panic surged through him as he saw his reflection raise a hand and gesture for him to come closer. Mark backed away from the mirror, his mind filled with fear and confusion. He couldn't comprehend the mirror's strange behavior. He considered covering it with a sheet or leaving the room, but his curiosity got the better of him. As he watched, the reflection's grin widened, and it pointed to the mirror's surface. Mark hesitated but decided to approach the mirror. He reached out and his fingertips touched the cool glass. It was then that he felt a sudden, forceful pull, and he was pulled into the mirror. Everything went dark, and Mark found himself in a mirrored world, a chilling reflection of his own. The world was inverted, a twisted version of reality, and he was trapped. He realized that he had ventured into the mirror's secret realm, and he had no idea how to escape. Trapped in the mirror's eerie realm, Mark's heart pounded with fear and confusion. The world he found himself in was a distorted reflection of his own, an unsettling place where everything was inverted, and the rules of reality didn't seem to apply. Desperate to escape, Mark began to explore the mirror's world, moving through the strange mirrored landscapes. He could see his own world on the other side of the glass, but he was unable to reach it. It was as if the mirror held him captive in a nightmarish reflection. As Mark moved through this disorienting realm, he encountered bizarre versions of familiar places and objects. Furniture hung upside down from the ceiling, and the very ground he walked on seemed to ripple like water. He was drawn to an eerie, fog-covered forest where shadowy figures lurked just beyond the mirrored trees. The longer Mark remained in this realm, the more he felt its malevolence closing in on him. The distorted reflection of his own smile haunted him, as if the mirror was mocking him for his curiosity. He realized that he had to find a way to break free from this nightmare. Mark's determination grew as he discovered that the mirror's realm held clues to its own secrets. He found fragments of a shattered mirror, each piece revealing glimpses of the real world. These fragments seemed to be the key to his escape, but he had to find them all. In his quest for the mirror pieces, Mark encountered more of the shadowy figures. They whispered unsettling secrets and cryptic messages, hinting at the mirror's power and the dangers it held. Mark listened carefully, hoping to uncover the knowledge he needed to escape. As Mark collected the final mirror piece, a surge of energy coursed through him. He stood before the mirror, holding the fragments in his hands, and as he placed them together, a blinding light enveloped him. He felt a pull, stronger than before, as if the mirror was letting him go. Mark was suddenly back in his room, safe and sound. The mirror, once so intriguing, now hung silently on the wall, its malevolent reflection gone. He realized that he had escaped the mirror's secret realm, and it was a chilling experience he would never forget. From that day on, Mark never looked at the mirror the same way. He understood that it held a power beyond comprehension, a gateway to a nightmarish reflection of reality. He knew the mirror's secret was a reminder that some mysteries were best left undiscovered, for there were realms of darkness that could trap the curious and never let them go.